Road accidents. We're a country that's notorious for them. The simple truth is that over the past few years, we've seen an influx of brand new models and new cars hitting the roads, but the driving competence has done anything but keep up. The end result is that some studies suggest that India accounts for some 11% of road accidents around the world. So as much as we'd like to think otherwise, we are at some level of risk and no amount of Nimbu Mirchi is going to eliminate that. So here's a look at what you need to do in the event that you are involved in an accident, and let's take it step by step. This is the most important thing. Do not be in a rush to assess the damage to your bike or car. Make sure that you're okay at first. Bear this simple fact in mind: if you have been involved in an accident or there's been some trauma of some sort, your body goes into defensive mode. You go into shock and you are largely protected from a lot of the damage that your body has actually sustained. For example, if you've fallen down the stairs or if it's leg day at the gym, there's a lot more pain to be dealt with the day after the incident. So first, just breathe. Check yourself for any kind of damage, any scratches, bruises, broken bones, bleeding, or even internal bleeding, and make sure that any movement you make is nice, steady, and slow. If you're sure you're relatively okay, only then should you step up or step out of your vehicle and assess the situation as well as the damage to your car or bike. Now comes the hard part: staying calm and relaxed. Do not get into a screaming match, because no matter who was involved and who was responsible for the accident, you're not going to get a solution by getting into a heated debate. Even if the other party involved in the accident is getting aggressive, do your best to be firm but level-headed. Remember, it was an accident. No one was looking to put the other party in harm's way, and human error is something we simply cannot get rid of. The next thing to do is take a stock of the situation, and there are some questions that you need to get answered for yourself. Note these things down for sure. Where were you traveling to and from, and why? Was there anyone else with you in your vehicle? What speed were you traveling at? What time did the accident occur? Where did the accident take place? Get the details of the other vehicle and its user, the make, model, color, details of the owner, the insurance information, etc. And remember, we have camera phones now, so take shots and videos of the accident as well as the location around it generously. And this is important: have a verbal explanation of the events leading up to the accident. Basically, what you need to be doing right now is painting the clearest possible picture of the 30 to 60 seconds that led up to the accident. The accident description. This accident description is what will be there in your police report or Panchnama, and it's filed at the closest police station to the spot of the accident. This report is simply a legal record of the incident and nothing more. Now, this report is what gives credence to your statements, and it's an official report to back up anything you say to your insurance company. Now, in the event that it's a simple case of a broken tail light, a broken headlight, or some kind of body damage, you don't really need to file a report of this sort. But if the damage is more significant, and definitely if it involves some kind of trauma or injury to someone in person, then you definitely need to get this report filed. The best time to do it is immediately after the accident, but of course your well-being comes first. So once you've made sure that you're all right, you need to get to a hospital, a clinic to get yourself checked up. Even if you do it later on, it's fine. Informing the insurance company. Again, the sooner you do this, the better, but even if you do it a day or two after the incident, it's not a big deal. Now, this is something you can do quite easily, because every insurance company has a toll-free number or something you can just Google, and you can basically file a report or an insurance claim against your policy. Once you enter these details, it's effectively like a Panchnama for your insurance company. There's not going to be any investigation or cross-questioning at this stage. It's basically giving the insurance company a heads up to start their end of the processing work. Once you've done this, you will get something known as a claim ID. Make sure you've got a note of this, because it effectively acts like an Aadhaar card for your insurance claim. Now, if the damage to your vehicle is significant, or it was an accident that took place at speed, or if you even feel like the damage is not just cosmetic, there may be something more than meets the eye, the best idea to go through with getting your vehicle fixed is to call the service center and have it towed from the spot of the accident. This is not just important from the perspective of your personal safety, but it's also important to make sure that the insurance company has no reason to doubt you. You see, insurance companies like to make all these nice and floofy ads that say that they're there for you and that they care for you. But make no mistake, their wallets come before your well-being. They will do their level best to make sure that you get as little money as legally possible under the terms and conditions of their insurance policy. So you cannot give them any wiggle room to say that, hey, This bit of damage was not because of the accident, it's because you used the vehicle after the accident. As you'd expect, the insurance claim involves some amount of paperwork and it is a bit tedious, but it only takes about 20 minutes of work. The service advisor is the guy who will help you through this process, and they will require some documentations from your side as well. That includes something like an photo ID proof like a PAN card, Aadhaar card, or a passport copy. It will involve your driver's license, your RC book copy, a valid PUC, and some other details. And they will also give you a claim form that needs to be filled in with some sundry details. This form is where your claim ID will be entered. Once this bit of the paperwork is done, your service advisor will run an estimate of what it will cost to repair the vehicle if it's possible, and by this time, the insurance company would have deputed a surveyor. The surveyor's job is to analyze the car or bike, run a check through all the estimated cost of repairs if at all it is possible, and also to corroborate your story as to what exactly happened in the event of the accident. He's also the insurance company's first line of defense, so he may just try and get a little bit of wiggle room to reduce the insurance company's liability by saying that this bit doesn't need to be repaired or replaced, or that this bit could not have been damaged in the accident itself. This will be a slight headache where the damage is repairable, but you can get through it relatively easily with the help of your service advisor. From here on, there are two possibilities. First, the vehicle is in a repairable state, in which case the cost of repair will be covered either entirely or partly depending on the terms and conditions of the policy, and there will be a small processing fee as well. This would be a good time to take a look at your insurance policy and make sure that you have a good idea about the fine print to ensure that you are aware of what is covered and what isn't. The second possibility is that of a total loss. Now, total loss sounds like something that is very scary, because it is, but it may not be exactly what you think it is. When the cost of repairing a vehicle is beyond 75% of the vehicle's insured declared value or IDV, it's put down as a constructive total loss, which means that the vehicle in the insurance company's view is repairable, but the cost of repairing it and getting it to the state it was originally in is simply not worth it. It's basically beyond what the vehicle is worth. When the vehicle cannot be repaired at all, it's called, plain and simply, a total loss. For a detailed understanding of this, I'm chucking a link into the description where you can get an idea of the different kinds of insurance policies, insurance terminologies, and you can educate yourself in a read that will take you all of 5 minutes tops. In this event, the company has to pay you the amount due, which is basically your vehicle's IDV minus depreciation if applicable and some policy excess. What you need to know in this event is that the insurance company is not doing you any favor. You are a paying customer and you need to make sure that you're getting your money's worth. So if they lowball you and try to convince you that a certain part is something that can be repaired and is not meant to be scrapped or replaced, do not give in to the offer. Because many times these sketchy repair jobs will come with a labor bill that they will not have to pay for. You will. This is also why you need to be smart while getting your insurance policy issued. Don't just go for the lowest possible premium. Make sure you've got a good IDV, and especially in the first few years of your vehicle's ownership, even if it's used, try and dig a little deeper and get zeroed up insurance if it's available to you. To compare insurance policy and get an idea of what works best for you, go ahead and check out the link up top. Now, the other reason why you shouldn't really give the insurance company any wiggle room is that the entire amount that is payable to you is not necessarily coming out of the insurance company's pocket. So if your vehicle's IDV is at around, say, rupees 5 lakh and there's no depreciation whatsoever, that full amount is not going to be coming out of the insurance company's pocket necessarily. Either the ownership of the vehicle is transferred to the insurance company and they do what they can with it, or they will find a salvage buyer for you through auctions portals, and that buyer will come and purchase the vehicle directly from you. What the insurance company actually pays you out of pocket is the IDV minus depreciation if applicable, minus the salvage value. That is what the liability is. So if your IDV is rupees 5 lakh and the salvage value is rupees 3 lakh, the actual amount that the insurance company has to pay you is only around rupees 2 lakh. Just bear in mind that repairs and replacement work, that can be sorted out in a few weeks' time. But if it's something more severe, especially in the event of a total loss, that can take anywhere from a few weeks to a few months, either because the salvage buyer is being too slow or the insurance company is. So the onus of following up and making sure that your work gets done is on you. So do not forget or hesitate to be persistent. So I hope that this video was able to offer some clarity. If you have any additional questions, go ahead and drop them in the comment section down below and we'll do our best to get back to you. And no matter what happens, remember, it was an accident. Human error and incompetence is something that we can never get rid of, and no matter how emotionally attached you may be to a vehicle, the only way to get the best possible outcome for yourself is to be calm and level-headed. Drive and ride safe.